Before we start the video, I've noticed in my video analytics that most of you watching are not subscribed. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more company documentary videos. Please support the channel by subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing the video. I promise you it's free. We're working aggressively to grow the channel, and we need your help by subscribing. Your support means so much and is so appreciated. Thanks again. Okay, let's get into the video. On today's menu is Olive Garden. The Italian favorite has proven itself to be a juggernaut in the world of casual dining, which makes perfect sense, considering that Italian food is the second most popular food in America, with Mexican food being number one. Olive Garden may not be the most authentic Italian restaurant out there, but Americans love it nonetheless. From those enticing unlimited soup and salad deals, right down to their fettuccine Alfredo, there's just something comforting about the food of Olive Garden that's got us going back for more. Yet, despite the fact that you may have memorized their menu by heart, how much do you really know about this popular Italian-themed chain restaurant? Do you know about its ties to a cereal manufacturing giant? On the surface, Olive Garden may appear to be a pretty straightforward place, but dig a little deeper and you'll find an interesting past. So grab yourself a breadstick, put your order in with the waiter, and munch away while you discover these interesting facts you never knew about Olive Garden. When we think of cereal giant General Mills, usually products such as Lucky Charms and Cheerios are what come to mind. What doesn't come to mind is heaping bowls of pasta. It should though, because General Mills is responsible for the creation of Olive Garden. Back in 1970, General Mills entered into the restaurant industry when Red Lobster founder Bill Darden sold off his enterprise to their company. As Red Lobster became a success, General Mills decided to expand upon their restaurant endeavors and open up Olive Garden. Olive Garden's first restaurant was opened on December 13, 1982 in Orlando. By 1989, there were 145 Olive Garden restaurants, making it the fastest growing units in the General Mills restaurant division. The Olive Garden restaurants were uniformly popular, and the chain's per-store sales soon matched former sister company Red Lobster. The company eventually became the largest chain of Italian-themed full-service restaurants in the United States. General Mills eventually spun off its restaurant holdings as Darden Restaurants, named for Red Lobster founder Bill Darden, a standalone company in 1995. Olive Garden removed "the" from its name in 1998, as part of a rebranding which introduced the slogan, "When you're here, you're family." In 2009, Olive Garden was Darden's most inexpensive restaurant chain, with an average check per person of $15 versus $90 at its sibling Capital Grille. By February 2011, Darden, the parent group, announced it intended to add more than 200 Olive Garden locations in the following few years. The announcement came after a previous announcement that the company would be expanding into potential new international markets for the chain, including the Middle East and Asia, due to the maturity of the North American market. The company also announced it would begin licensing franchising partnerships, a new direction for the chain and its parent, which had traditionally relied on expansion via company-owned locations exclusively. In 2011, Darden announced that it was going to begin co-locating Olive Garden and sibling chain Red Lobster locations. The new restaurants were designed for smaller markets and had separate entrances and dining areas, but unified kitchen and support areas. Menus remained separate, with customers only able to order from the location they were seated in. In 2014, Darden Restaurants announced intentions to sell Red Lobster, to close 2 Olive Garden and Red Lobster co-locations in Georgia and South Carolina, and to convert the remaining 4 co-locations into standalone Olive Garden restaurants. In 2010, Olive Garden generated $3.3 billion in sales. Its closest competitor, Carrabba's Italian Grill, had generated $650.5 million in sales during the same year. By 2012, sales had decreased at Olive Garden. At the final quarter of 2011, sales at established Olive Garden locations had decreased by 2.5%. The Darden president and chief operating officer said that Olive Garden at that point was a beloved but somewhat expected brand. The company introduced a 3-course meal for $12.95 to try to stop the decline. In order to further curb their decline, the company decided to also focus on international markets. In 2013, according to the Orlando Business Journal, Darden Restaurants Incorporated started focusing its efforts on opening more restaurants in Central and Latin American countries like Guatemala, Costa Rica, Honduras, and more. Currently, according to Olive Garden's website, there are more than a dozen locations in Mexico alone, with Puerto Rico and Brazil following behind closely, with a large number of locations as well. With the implementation of all these strategies, Olive Garden was able to reach 837 locations by 2014. Although many restaurants are still struggling after the infamous COVID-19 shutdown, Olive Garden has actually done surprisingly well following the pandemic. In June of 2021, after indoor dining returned to normal as it could get anyway, the restaurant chain reported a record-breaking profit, according to CNBC. The Darden poster child beat predictions and almost matched 2019's pre-pandemic profit in the meantime. So why did Olive Garden do so well as restaurants and diners in other places are struggling? Per FSR, CEO Gene Lee says it's because they refuse to use third-party delivery services like so many other restaurants. He's not necessarily wrong, because while overall sales may be lower compared to pre-pandemic numbers, the company's actual profits are still gaining serious momentum. While other chains were using delivery services like Uber Eats and DoorDash to increase sales, Olive Garden broke its all-time single-day sales record on Mother's Day 2021, via CNBC. They claim millennials and boomers alike still love the idea of taking their partners to Olive Garden, where everyone feels like they're part of one big, happy Italian family. I don't know about all that. To me, it's more likely people were sick of being in the house and went back to something that was familiar, like Olive Garden. Regardless of the reason, it greatly benefited Olive Garden. By the end of 2022, Olive Garden made $4.59 billion, which was over $1 billion more than what they made pre-pandemic. Darden Restaurants, the parent of Olive Garden and Longhorn Steakhouse, plans to open roughly 100 new eateries this year, and in fiscal 2024 combined, building on double-digit sales growth from patrons who still consider eating out an affordable luxury. The Orlando, Florida-based company reported its fiscal 2023 third-quarter results increased its guidance for store openings in 2023. Darden also said its net sales for the 3 months ending February 26th increased about 14% to $2.79 billion. Same-restaurant sales across all its chains rose an average 11.7%. with Olive Garden seeing the biggest jump, up 12.3%. Darden's portfolio has 1,890 restaurants. In addition to Olive Garden and Longhorn, its other eateries include Cheddar Scratch Kitchen, Yard House, Capital Grill, Seasons 52, Bahama Breeze, and Eddie V's. Like most of these big restaurants, Olive Garden is not exempt to controversy. TikTok viewers have been left horrified after a recent viral video from a woman who claimed to work at Olive Garden for 10 years, shared that she would never eat at the restaurant again for a host of reasons, including what she said were gross meal ingredients and cleanliness problems. She stated in the video, "I worked there for 10 years. There's a reason why you feel like shit after you eat there." She ominously said, "Just trust me, don't eat there." After teasing viewers in the comments with statements about the salads and chicken dishes, Shani returned to the topic on her TikTok on Wednesday to share her insider knowledge on everything she felt was wrong with the chain Italian restaurant. She specifically took issue with many of the popular main dishes, claiming that they were not treated properly, nor were they authentic as advertised on the menu. All across the board, they changed their chicken about 6 years ago from good chicken to chicken that's not so great, she said. It's not 100% chicken, and the chicken that comes on the never-ending pasta bowl is actually canned chicken, or canned mystery chicken. Also mystery cheeses all across the board, she added. Shani also alleged that the salad was frequently contaminated and not washed properly. There's always caterpillars and spiders that we have to pull out of the salad mix, she claimed. Servers all day long are picking toppings with their fingers out of there and eating it. It's just the way it is. She even claimed that at the location where she worked, there was a very bad slug problem with the sodas. We actually had to knock slugs off before we filled up sodas, and our managers just said there was nothing we could really do about it, she alleged. So what's next for Olive Garden? In full transparency, I've not been there in years. I I used to love them when I was younger, but I'm hyper-focused on my workout journey, so I don't partake in that type of stuff anymore. However, honestly, I think Olive Garden will keep growing. Even with the alleged slug problem, Americans have gotten used to ignoring restaurant cleanliness. I believe we have come to terms with realizing that this is just part of engaging in the American restaurant culture. Nevertheless, that's still pretty disgusting. Anyway, do you like Olive Garden? Do you like their food? Have any of you worked for them? If yes, how was your experience working for them or eating there? Please let us know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more company documentary videos. And be sure to like and share the video as well. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.